The animals register is absolutely central to InterHerd Plus. It's where you are able to view and edit every single data item that has ever been entered for any particular animal. You should, from the one screen, be able to see everything relating to a single animal. So it's extremely important and worth spending just a little time understanding how it works. You open the animals register by going to the Data menu item and selecting Animals Register. The first thing you'll notice here is above the grid, the top grid, there are a couple of dates. These are both the current today's date. So what you have displayed here are the animals that are present in the herd today, and on the right hand side it tells you exactly how many animals there are. So that is all the animals of all sexes and all lactations and so on and so forth. So currently in this top grid there are 897 animals, 897 rows. We've selected animal number 1 here in that top grid, so the details in the lower 2 grids are referring to animal number 1. She's in her 4th lactation, so we can see down here we are looking at the 4th lactation of animal number 1, and below the lowest split we're looking at the events down here. So these are the events of animal 1 in her 4th lactation. If I wanted to see the events in her 3rd lactation, I would select the 3rd lactation. There we have the events. I want to see the milk recordings in her 3rd lactation, they're all in there as well. If I change the animal, go to animal number 2, these are now the milk recordings in the 4th lactation of animal number 2. Now obviously it is going to be quite a job to wade your way through 897 animals, so maybe easiest way is to go into the filter row at the top and enter the animal number that you want, press return, and it will filter that top grid down to just the animal you are interested in. So here we are down to animal number 10. Everything on this screen now refers just to animal number 10. Again, she's in her 4th lactation, and down the bottom I can see all the events, the actual events and the scheduled events for this particular animal. Now if I wanted to edit data or enter data, I can do that here. It's not the most efficient place to do batch data entry. We have the event pad and other options for that, but this is a very good way of looking at the data of a particular animal. Now if I was wanted to, for instance, have a look at the mastitis event on the 23rd of February this year, we did not specify which quarter had mastitis, so I could come in and I could register the quarter. So this is a back right. Now we have entered that. To save, you can either click the save button at the top at any time, or Alt and S will also save that data. If you have supplies you want to enter, the supply must be registered as with a code, but basically you could then go back and enter supplies. If I said I used antibiotic B, then I'm entering three tubes of antibiotic B. I could put in the batch code number, expiry date and so on if I have that information. If I'm using stocks on the farm, which I am with the other antibiotic called antibiotic A, then you can see that we have this registered in the supplies, and this will be allocated as being used by this animal for that particular drug. So again, Alt S will save that, and that animal has now got a drug supply as well as the quarter affected. If I want to add a new mastitis event in the animal register, just go down to the bottom, empty line, and so if we had a mastitis event from the 1st of January, just put in the 1st of January this year and say what the event was. I select out M for mastitis and I'm away. And if that was a more severe case of mastitis, a moderate case of mastitis, I could put that in there, come over and make sure we register the quarter that we're dealing with here. So this is the back right, and I won't bother with the supply on this occasion. So Alt S, and that is now registered. To get rid of the just the filter, you go up into the filter row, you press escape, and there we are, we're back to all 897 animals. If I wanted to see all how many animals have been in the herd in the last year, just change that date, the from date, to 13, press return, fetch new data, and instead of 897. There have been actually 1,024 animals in this herd in the last year, so these animals have been sold and so on and so forth. So it's an extremely flexible way of finding data for any animal that you want to see.